it's your friendly neighbourhood nerd, Tori here. How are we? I hope you're all doing well. So I am currently in the middle of packing for my Disneyland Paris trip, so stay tuned for that coming real soon for you. But literally, as I am packing and obviously scrolling on social media as you do, there has been some breaking Disneyland Paris news and I just had to hop on here and instantly talk to you guys. And I know I'm gonna have to juggle about my YouTube schedule to fit this in for you, but there's no way I can talk about it. So obviously recently there's been lots of Disneyland Paris exciting news coming out. Obviously the Walt Disney Studios Park is having its expansion work, which is exciting in itself. However, there has been several years since there has been an update to the Disneyland Park, the main park. Off the top of my head, I want to say the last time that had an update was when Space Mountain switched over to Hyperspace Mountain, when that had its Star Wars overlay. That's got to be like 10 plus years, hasn't it? It's been a while since we've had updates in the main park as attraction wise, and the update that has come out today is very, very exciting because it involves Winnie the Pooh and Frozen. It involves Frozen as well. The title is a bit misleading, but it's also not. Let me explain. So at Disneyland Paris there is this ride which basically translates into the Storybook canal boats, which I believe you do have at Disneyland Anaheim. I don't think you have it at Walt Disney World, and I'm not sure about the Asian parks, but essentially I think the ride in Disneyland is pretty much same concept as Disneyland Paris. You go on a little boat and it takes you around all like fairy tale stories like Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. It takes you through like all like really old storybook scenes, and like the scenes are set out on either side of the boat, and it's really cool. I believe the Disneyland version is the same as the Paris version, where the boat ride is inside Casey Jr. and the Casey Jr. track goes around the outside. So a lot of these scenes on this ride, particularly at Paris, are of really old stories. A few of them which I didn't like recognize growing up as a kid, I obviously know now, but that's just a few association of the ride. And a lot of them, obviously, as more generations come to Disneyland Paris, they become more and more like irrelevant, if you will. So Disneyland Paris is deciding to update some of the stories on the ride. We are getting 2 new scenes, and that is Winnie the Pooh and Frozen. Very excited about that. So as the news has literally come out today that is what's happening, I have got some concept art to show you. Literally the only announcement said is that that is coming to the ride. Now, I am jumping the gun a bit by saying that these are going to be replacing 2 existing scenes. A lot of people think these scenes are going to be additional. However, this ride is not something you can expand. Obviously, it's a boat ride, and the ride has another ride going around it, so you can't expand it because there's a ride outside of it. And the only gaps on the ride that I can think of is on the very back bit, where Casey Jr. comes around the corner and there's like a gap along there. There's like a bit of grass bedding, but I don't think they can add anything there because of like health and safety reasons with the Casey Jr. track. That's literally the only gap on the ride. And as I said, I don't think you can add anything there for various health and safety reasons. There's like various cables, and obviously you need to get to the track and all that. So I have done my own digging and self-research and just general knowledge from growing up at Disneyland Paris, and just put 1 and 2 together. And I want to confidently guess that that Winnie the Pooh is going to replace Hansel and Gretel, and then I believe Frozen is going to replace Peter and the Wolf. I haven't heard of Peter and the Wolf, I'll be honest with you. Is that the boy who cried wolf, or is that a completely different story? I don't know who Peter is, but I feel like any day now he's going to be replaced with Anna and Elsa. Let me show you the concept art that we have been given. As I have said, it is not confirmed that those are these sections of the ride is being replaced. Those are just my guesses, because one, the other scenes are like mainly Disney. You have Snow White, Tangled, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid. Obviously you go through Aladdin's Cave of Wonders, there's Sword in the Stone, there's Wizard of Oz, which I've always been confused why that's on the ride, because I don't think Disney has ever had anything to do with Wizard of Oz. correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, for two reasons why I think it's Hansel and Gretel and Peter and the Wolf. It's because one, those are like not Disney stories, they're old fairy tale stories, not really related to Disney. And also when you look at the concept art, it makes sense. If you've been on the ride, it'll make sense. First off, let's start off with Frozen, which, fun fact for my non-Disneyland Paris friends watching this, the Frozen in French is this. This is what the movie is called in France, which directly translates to the Snow Queen, which is just a cool fact for you. So here is the concept art. So zoom in. So all of the scenes on the ride have this little storybook here where it has just a picture of the story, and then obviously on the blank page it will say, don't want to pronounce it in French, but it will say that. And then scrolling across, we've got this, I'm assuming that's Kristoff's cabin in the woods, a nice snowy scene. And if we come a bit over here, don't know if my phone will let me zoom. No, I can't zoom in any further, but you can see Kristoff and Sven, and I think there might be, yeah, I don't know how well you can see that, but Anna and Elsa are on the sleigh behind Sven. Also, up here in the background on the hill, you have got Anna's ice castle up on the hill. So that is the concept art for the Frozen section. And if, obviously I haven't got a picture of Peter and the Wolf's section, but you can just Google it, or if you've been to Disneyland Paris and you know. Hasn't that whole bit, obviously Peter and the Wolf is, the scene is very snowy and it has a log cabin already, so that's why I'm thinking it will be that, because then they just need to change the characters over. And the only thing they'd need to add is this little mountain bit back here. Currently doesn't exist on that portion, but pretty sure Disney can quickly add in a little mountain and a little ice castle. But taking away Elsa's ice castle at the top, the bit down the bottom is exactly how Peter and the Wolf is. It's got the log cabin. The wolf is around where the characters are here now, and then Peter is just stood outside of his cabin. So literally all they need to do is take Peter away, take the wolf away, put the characters there, build an ice castle and change the book. Simple. Yeah, I'm pretty confident on that. And then as for Winnie the Pooh, as I said, Hansel and Gretel, that is one of the early on scenes you get onto the ride. I think it might be like, it's literally one of the first ones you see. I don't think it is the first, but it is very early on. What gives it away for me that it is Hansel and Gretel is it's a very small area that the scene is on. So obviously the Winnie the Pooh one, you got the tree, you got Pooh. Oh, it's Pooh's tree. Look, you can see Mr. Sanders and everything, all the details in the honey pots. I love how detailed concept art goes. Then you got Pooh and Tigger, but the thing that really pointed it out to me that it's going to be the Hansel and Gretel, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? It's over here, is the bridge. The Hansel and Gretel scene is the only bit that has that bridge, and the book is like on a separate island to the scene, connected by the bridge. And the only existing scene already on the ride like that is literally Hansel and Gretel scene. So when you look at the concept art for these two and compare it to those two existing ones, and I think just generally looking at those two stories compared to the stories already on the ride, I think you might be able to agree with me that they're the ones that Disney would get rid of. So yeah, obviously very exciting that Frozen is getting featured. It's not currently got a feature in the main park at Disneyland Paris, but obviously in Walt Disney Studios Park we are having Arendelle built as part of the expansions. So that's exciting, and obviously Frozen, obviously one of Disney's biggest all-time movies, so it's very exciting that that's getting featured in the main park. Winnie the Pooh currently has no attractions at Disneyland Paris. We unfortunately don't have the ride. There's literally nothing Winnie the Pooh at Disneyland Paris. Very sad about that. So this is the closest thing we are getting to a Winnie the Pooh ride slash attraction at Paris, which is hence why I've given it the title, because I think we can class this as a Winnie the Pooh attraction. I'm so excited for it. Little concept art book. I don't know how well you can see it here. On the book, obviously you've got Pooh, and then on that page is where it's going to say Winnie the Pooh. Can you see there in the corner of the book, it's got a little bee. They really don't have to go this detailed into their concept art, but they do, and it is incredible. When I found out, it's been a couple of hours now since I found out about this, obviously because I've had to have time to go and dig through to find out which stories I think they'll be replacing. It's been a couple of hours, but when I first saw that initial announcement about I completely skipped over Frozen and my eyes just went to Disneyland Paris, the Winnie the Pooh ride new update. It was like my brain was like pinpointing out the keywords. Honestly, I don't think I cried, but I could have. I was very happy, emotional, as I think if you've been part of my channel and Tori in Wonderland for a while, Winnie the Pooh, Disneyland Paris, they're both my absolute life, and to be getting a Winnie the Pooh attraction at Disneyland Paris is honestly, I'm so excited. It's such a small feature of a small ride, but honestly it just makes me so happy to think about, and I'm very excited. So today is the 9th of October. That is when the announcement has got announced. Announcements got announced. great English, Tori. And currently they've said it's opening in 2024. So next year, which is crazy. So I'm assuming they'll be closing the ride over winter a lot. That area of Disneyland Paris, the corner where those two rides are, usually does get shut in the winter months, just because like when it gets icy and slippery, it's like down a hill, rivers, they just usually close it for health and safety reasons and for maintenance reasons. January is usually the best time to do maintenance. So, and as I said, like obviously looking at from Peter and the Wolf to Frozen, as we talked through, there's really not that many changes Disney needs to make. Obviously they can make all the features of it off-site, and then they obviously just have to close the ride, come glue them in place. Bob's your uncle, you're done. Obviously with the Winnie the Pooh section, I think there's a bit more they need to do, because obviously Hans and Gretel have their little cabin and all of that. A little bit more changes, but really I don't think the ride will be closed for too long. Maybe like a few weeks, a month at most. As I said, there's not an exact opening date yet. All we're known is 2024, which is next year. We're in October right now, so it's very exciting. I'm going to Disneyland Paris this coming weekend, so stay tuned for the vlogs. After that, my next trip is in mid to end of March 2024. After that, I think I'll be going in July, and then after that December, but we're getting too far in advance there. Anyway, I wonder if it will be open for my March trip. If not, I'm pretty confident I will see it on my summer trip. So I'm very excited. It's been, as I said, Hyperspace Mountain was the last time the main park at Paris got an update, and that's obviously just an overlay change into the Star Wars theme. So it's been a long time since we've had an update to the main park at Paris, and this is very exciting, and I just had to share it with you. So it's just very exciting times. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little news flash video. Obviously when these new scenes are open on the Storybook boats, of course I will be vlogging and showing you guys so we can experience it all together. Be it on my March trip or my July trip, whichever one it is. I'm strongly feeling I'll be able to see it in March. Strongly feeling that. So yeah, I can't wait to take you guys along with me to see these new updates. Very exciting. So do click subscribe and ding the notification bell, because it's not very often you get Disney announce a new update, and it's going to be so soon. So that is very exciting. If you enjoyed this video, please do pop that thumbs up button so I know you enjoyed it. It's a bit different, but I saw the news and I had to come and talk to you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye!